Ward 26 is based in James Cook Hospital. We are a specialist neurorehabilitation unit and cover a large geographical region in the northeast of England. The unit has 18 beds and we look after patients who need to stay in hospital after sustaining a life-changing brain injury and other neurological conditions. Rehabilitation is tailored to each patient and it can be a slow process. Our patients can stay with us for up to 6 months. We have a large multidisciplinary team of professionals working onto the ward and experienced nursing staff who support each patient throughout their admission.
Patients have to be living in Middlesbrough, Redcar and Cleveland, North Yorkshire, County Durham, Darlington or North Tees. They must be aged 18 and over and have a new onset neurological condition or traumatic injury. The patients must have identified therapy goals and be able to engage in and tolerate intensive rehabilitation. The conditions that we treat include multiple sclerosis, traumatic brain injury, Guillain-Barré syndrome, chronic demyelinating polyneuropathy, major trauma, acquired brain injury, cerebral palsy and neuroimmunological diseases.
So on Ward 26, after a couple of weeks of having the patient and get to know them and them having had their assessments from all the disciplines on the ward, we'll then have a goal setting meeting. So it's normally the patient and their next of kin or their family member that they want to support them, as well as all the disciplines that are treating the patient. And we'll sit down and we'll set some goals. And what we normally do is set goals in sort of a 4-weekly cycle. So that we have short-term things to work towards and the patient knows what they're working towards as well. If the patient wants to know, we can also talk about a predicted discharge date so that they have a rough estimate of how long they're staying with us here on Ward 26. So we have lots of different equipment in the gym. That might be the parallel bars where we can practice walking and balance. We have treadmills, bikes, and other bikes for more dependent people. And we've got lots of different equipment that we can use for different aspects of rehab, whether that's strengthening or stamina or flexibility.
So this is our light activity room and we bring patients off the ward here for a number of reasons. We bring them off the ward to complete what we call cognitive assessment, so that's kind of a paper and pen assessment, and we do that and that kind of helps tailor our rehab programme because we know the areas of difficulty that we're working on, and that then helps tailor what we're going to work on and set goals with patients. And we do that kind of in a nice quiet one-to-one room such as this, the light activity room, and that gives us kind of normally a numerical value and a score that we can go off once we've completed the assessments. So another couple of things that we've got at the table here for upper limb, and this is to work on kind of fine finger movement and coordination. And again, we could do this one-to-one or maybe as part of a group therapy. So just for example here, we would look at picking that up, pinching it, placing it down, popping it back in the board again. And we've got another similar activity there for fine finger movement and coordination. So this is one of the pieces of equipment that we use, and this is called the shoulder ladder. And when we use this to look at increasing strength and range of movement at the shoulder, so you would just put one hand on either side and you would lift it up through each level. Obviously we would tailor it to suit each individual. Certain individuals might be able to get to the top, others we would look at maybe moving it up the first couple with a grading it to maybe reaching at the top.
So on neurorehab, we recognise our patients are here from weeks to months and they need an outdoor space. So we created this garden for the patients, the team of nurses and all the therapy team, and the patients come out here and do some of the therapy goals. We have activities of planting flowers, planting seeds. We have a sunflower competition. We've got a lovely seating area as one of the developments of the garden.
So this is our occupational therapy kitchen. As occupational therapists, we look at how people manage their day-to-day activities. So that's anything from being able to get up and washed and dressed, being able to make meals, to then return to work. As occupational therapists, as part of the kitchen assessment process, we're looking at people's physical abilities, whether or not they're able to stand and manage the tasks in standing. And we also look to see if they can cope with things from a cognitive perspective. If someone's got some cognitive difficulties, it's important to check safety with memory, if they're able to remember to check if the kettle's boiled, if the cooker is on, and just really looking at safety for discharge home. We've got a seating area with up to 6 people, so we can do breakfast groups where people can come and socialise and prepare breakfast independently.
In terms of our education sessions, we offer formal education sessions which raise insight and awareness into brain injury. We encourage families and patients to come to those sessions. And we also have local Headway branches coming to them. So Headway has so much information on their website, and we also have local Headway branches as well. So they have lots of information on brain injury and as well on communication and swallowing problems. And Ward 26 also has a website which has information on different communication problems where you can get a lot more information as well.
James Cook, SLT, Ward 26 are great teams. They help me build my confidence, my positivity, my drive to succeed, my passion to take every day as a win. I met some great doctors, nurses, carers. They were there for my family and for me in the weeks, months and years after the accident. Master, thank you.
We have excellent therapeutic relationships with patients and their families, and we are privileged to share their journey, and we support them emotionally and psychologically.
And it's also very important that the goals that we set as a team with the rehab team is followed through from the nurse's point of view. So outside of therapy times, we continue with their rehabilitation. So rest periods are also very, very important throughout. So with regards to physiotherapy, we carry on what is advised by the physiotherapist with regards to mobility, and also for cognitive aspects, isn't it, with the OTs. As nurses, we can carry on sort of goals that are set by them with little assessments, and even playing games and stuff's really important. But it's also really important to get that balance between rest time and therapy time.
The Pathway to Diagnostics